Welcome back, everyone, to Pineleaf on Board, where we are playing Roll for the Galaxy, where I am playing against the medium AI. And so far, I have 5 tiles out. My opponent has 7, so my opponent is ahead in that department, but I have 1 extra victory point, and I seem to be having the more complicated developments and planets out. Currently have a plague world and a rebel hideout in reserve there. No developments ready. And let's see where I can roll onto my dice. Ooh. So I can scout and I can develop. Obviously, I really don't want to develop, but I would like to do some settling. And I'll reassign that to there so that I guarantee that I could do the settling this turn. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I get an opportunity. Should I stock? Well, what do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. I have 6 dice in the citizenry, so it'd be nice to bring some of them out next round. And no dice going back into the cup for free. So that could be a problem there. So let's stock up and get some money. All right, my opponent does the same thing. Then let's put those into there. My opponent is still just grabbing those little bitty worlds. And yeah, 3 white dice. That means I'm most likely going to be getting a number of scouting parts in here. Now hold on. I have nanotechnology now, so I could reassign 1 or 2 workers in any phase. I should have thought of that last turn. I forgot that I went through a lot of trouble to get that nanotechnology. So that's going to help me because I could effectively ignore what I rolled there and do anything I want with those rolls. Well, what I am going to do, well, I definitely want to finish out that. So I am going to do that as my lock. That could get me some extra money. That is useless, so I am just going to reassign that to... what would I like to do with it? Just that? All right. Okay, it glows there saying that it has been reassigned. That way I get a little extra money because that's, of course, assuming that even comes up. So I guess technically I could have just easily have done that without reassigning because... All right, so now I do get to... right, I get this. I've got the Plague World. Good. Unfortunately, nobody... Alright, and my opponent is 1 victory point up and is very quickly heading on towards... actually has a high point world coming up. Look at that. And has not going very far on that development there, but 5 points, that means 4 dice away from winning. So I do have to be careful on that. And unfortunately, I have only 1 die here, but fortunately 3 in the cup. All right, that's good. All right, what I'm going to need to do is to do some consumption. All right, so what I'm going to do is... yeah, this is going to be interesting because I want to consume some in order to grab some victory points. I think that would be nice. And I've got 2 dice here. It'll be nice to do that. Do I want to produce some? Well, I don't want to produce with a white die. So let's reassign this to here. I think I've got one more reassignment I can do. Right, one more reassignment. I've got, yeah, 2 under reassignment right now. Let's call that done. And it looks like my opponent had the same idea. All right, so let's do that and consume that. Good, that gives me 18. Now, my opponent only has 1 die locked there, but has 1 die, but that's a blue, 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 it looks like. So my opponent's going to be going up to 19. Oh, okay, so I'll go up to 20 then. Yeah, so we are, because whenever you do the consumption through the produce die, you grab them from here, and if that ever goes to 0, the game is over. If anyone gets 12, the game is over. The game's probably going to end by reaching 12 over there. Now, let's see, I only have $1, unfortunately, so we'll just put that into there. Oh, I don't have any goods whatsoever. Probably my opponent is probably going to try to collect that world right there, but I think they need. I don't think they're ready to finish the game yet. Ooh, yes, they're not ready because they would have to scout in order to have any hope of doing that. Now, let's see, what do we have here? I don't need to settle there. I would like to settle this. Actually, I'll put this here. I will lock the settlement. I have that just in case I could get some more money. And of course, we all had the same idea, apparently. All right, my opponent is now at 2 of 5. Right, and only $1, unfortunately. Well, obviously, I'm going to have to do quite a bit of scouting next turn. But scouting with a yellow die is going to be worth quite a bit. So that's what I'm going to put up there. Well, it's a good thing that I can reassign 2 dice because that's what I'm going to need to do. Alright, so let's obviously we'll stock with that one. And let's do some scouting. Let's see. Prosperous World or Space Marines. Let's take the Prosperous World. That gives us a cyan die and 3 victory points. I am 3 ahead right now. But my opponent's going to have 5 at any moment. Why is it? Oh, that's the thing. How? Oh, that's right. It has only 1 die on there? All right. I expected my opponent to have a bit more than that on there. All right. Whatever. We are done. Oh, finish that development. Game's over. 22. Oh my goodness gracious. tie. 22 to 22. And we have 6 points each on the tiebreaker. I forgot what the tiebreaker is because I never thought I'd run into that. But all right, 22 to 22. I'll have to go and check the rule book to see what it says. Well, it says that the game is a tie with co-winners. So I have to go back, check the rule book, and see what it says those tiebreakers are to see why it is a perfect tie. Because obviously it's not based on the number of victory points that you gained from there. It's not gained on completing the most worlds or of the victory points that you gained from the pool because we weren't tied on that. Now I noticed that we have the same number of dice in the citizenry, and that may be the tiebreaker that's involved. So let me go and check. I checked with the rule book, and it says that if two or more players are tied, then each tied player should add together the number of dice in their cup plus the number of credits that they have. We each had 3 dice in our cups, and we each had 1 credit remaining, and that meant we were still tied, and if the player with the highest total among them tied players wins, if there is still a tie, then the tied players win together. So that is the answer to that question. Is it possible to have a tied game in Roll for the Galaxy? Apparently so, because that's what happened this time. And that is our first game that we have in our new season of Pineleaf on Board. So tune in next time when we're going to explore another one of my favorite board game apps. Until next time, this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to socialize responsibly.